Did you buy Trump coin? You did, didn't you? Okay, maybe most of you didn't, but I'm going to talk to you about how to avoid falling into those pitfalls and, avoiding that temptation. You might be new here, but I'm also going to talk to you about, just maybe some personal experience so you can see the other side, why people become Bitcoin only. So I'll talk to you about that and more. But first, I want to tell you to get a Bitbox. Go to Bitbox O2. Get a Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. That's not the website. It's the best hardware wallet you could buy. So you get your Bitcoin, you put it on there. It's like the size of a thumb drive. I don't have one handy on me. I'll show it next time. But it's about the size of a thumb drive, and it's the easiest to use. I mean, you plug it right in. You just put in your little password to get into the device, and you're good to go. You can see it. They have an app on your phone, or they have an app on your desktop, and you can or laptop, whatever. You can just plug it right in, see your balance, all that good stuff. So go to bitbox.swiss/Bitcoin Made Simple. Use promo code Bitcoin Made Simple to get 5% off your order. Also, shout out to Barefoot Mining. Barefoot Mining is looking for like-minded investors and miners. So if you have an energy source or if you have a source of money and you want to get into the mining world, go to barefootmining.com. Okay, so Trump coin came out last Friday, right? Right before the inauguration and all that jazz. And I mean, I thought it was a joke at first. And there were some people, I think they were disappointed because they were like, "No, he was going to be the Bitcoin president." I mean, I never had that hope, so I like of course a meme coin is going to come out. And then the meme coin pumped like some crazy like 40,000%. Like there are a few random people that made fortunes off of just seeing this Trump token at the right time last Friday and making sure that it was in their wallet or that they could buy it. I think it wasn't even available on all the exchanges. But anyways, I understand the allure. Even at this point, I still, I get drawn in whenever I see, it's like, here's the thing. If at this time last week, probably around this exact time that I'm recording it, if I went back to myself and said, "Hey, you should buy, $1,000 of Trump coin and just watch it obsessively for the next 12 hours. That would be with a crystal ball, and that would be how you could make a fortune. But that is literally winning the lottery. That's what that is. So that's why you shouldn't try it. That's with Bitcoin, there is no lottery. Yes, the price. And by the way, none of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you from my point of view how I look at this. But Bitcoin is not a lottery ticket. Yes, it's volatile. Yes, in the short term, if you're trying to play with Bitcoin and, determine what you're going to do and how much, like try to trade it and stuff like that. Yes, that's gambling and you can lose. So in the short term, I guess it's volatile enough to be considered gambling. In the long term, Bitcoin is the only thing that remains fixed. It's on a volatile and violent curve up and to the right continually. And that's what you should be focused on. So don't get trapped. Don't look at the shiny new meme coin and go, "Yeah, that's going to be my coin. That's going to be the thing that changes my life," because I'm afraid I've got some bad news. It's not going to work out that way. So the allure, like if you're new to Bitcoin, you're going to fall for those traps. Maybe you already did. if you've been around Bitcoin, you need to constantly stay vigilant because people will fall again into those traps. They will. The temptation is real, the temptation is there. You know, take it from me, even, you know, like you start a podcast and get a few people that follow you, and guess what? Shit coins are going to come pouring in for you to promote them. That's how it is. So the allure is always there. So, if I wanted to make a quick little dollar, sure, I could do that, but that's unethical and wrong. Because the reason that that's unethical wrong is because shitcoins are designed to pump and dump. And I'll get to that in a second, but you should also get a BitBox02 hardware wallet, just a reminder. Yes, so that's I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'll say it a million times, but the reason making money off of shitcoins is unethical is because they're designed to rob other people of their wealth. They provide absolutely no value beyond that, if you consider that even a value. So that's what shitcoins are designed to do. They're designed to confiscate wealth from others. Some of you know the streaming platform that I started called Movies Plus, independent film streaming platform, and I was a Bitcoin maximalist and like Bitcoin only, but I still kind of believed. I mean, this is like 5 years ago, 5+ years ago. I still kind of believed in like the use of other tokens. You know what I mean? Like, well, Bitcoin can't do everything that they want. So I remember thinking about like, okay, creating a coin, and using it for ways for people to earn their revenue off of their movies that they have streamed, for ways for people to pay for their content. It's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like a Movies Plus coin. Wouldn't that be genius? So like I kind of went through the mental exercise of like, well, what would that look like? What would that do? Where would we? And when it came down to it, I was like, because then I saw things like I didn't really understand the Lightning Network, and I read the Lightning Network white paper, and I was like, wait a minute, the Lightning Network does what Ethereum says it's solving. You can't make quick payments like Visa. Well, Lightning Network solves that problem. Doesn't mean it's perfect. Needs work. Needs to be scaled properly. All those different things. But I was like, oh, okay, wait. It really is Bitcoin only. And then I started thinking to myself, well, I'm sure there's a way to do that with Bitcoin. All the stuff that I want to do in the movie world. Why would I do an ICO, an initial coin offering? Why would I create a coin? And it hadn't dawned on me to that point. And then it did. It's like, oh, the only reason to do that is to enrich yourself, to have it pre-mined, like the classic pump and dump that you've seen on every shitcoin or shart coin. Is that was the purpose. It's like, oh well, Movies Plus would own 50% of the tokens, then we launch it, so something that has no value, all of a sudden people buy $10 million worth of it, and all of a sudden I have the Movies Plus has a bunch of money based on the coins that it owned ahead of launching it. I'm not getting into the technicalities of it. I'm just giving literally broad strokes. So it's like, oh, that is the only reason. And that's a shitty reason. That's an unethical reason to do something like that. Um so, but to each their own. When I say that, I mean people that launch this stuff. You can't control what other people do, and if they're going to do what they're going to do, it is what it is. You just that's on them. But I couldn't have it on my conscience, and really at that point, like I mean that was, you know, 2020 and just full fledged into like Bitcoin only. Um, that was it. That was the moment. Um, and I rolled with it. I said, all right, like, I'm sorry for not noticing sooner. Bitcoin is the only answer. Everything else is a scam. And pretty much since then, I've just been shouting it from the rooftops. I literally was at an energy summit that was about Bitcoin mining, but it's at an energy summit. And I was like, I just literally out loud, like, this guy was giving the presentation, and I just like raised my hand and stood up, and I just said, um, just so everyone here knows, if it's not Bitcoin, it's a scam entirely. And they were all just staring at me. I was like, wow, I guess I am literally shouting it from the rooftops. So yeah, don't get wrapped up in any shitcoinery. So you might see a Trump token, you might see something else, and you might think to yourself, this is that lottery ticket. There's always going to be the hindsight of going, God, if I only knew. But you have to just resist. Stay away from it. Bitcoin only. And buy a Bitbox O2 hardware wallet and put the Bitcoin on there. Do that, and I will talk to you guys next week.